Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Oh gosh, thank you, Aaron. Howdy, and welcome to the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here from Fuji. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Aaron Smith with Samuli Kumo in the production booth. You're here live watching Apex Racing TV. Aaron, well, I hope you are having a good time. I'm definitely having a good time. It's great to be back in the booth as you are cracking up like an eggshell underneath a skillet right now. What's going on over there?
Yeah, it's not safe for the broadcasting, you know it. But I'm doing pretty well. I think I speak for everyone where we say we missed you, Austin, from this series, and we're all happy that you're back and ready to break our eardrums.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more fun, and I can tell you it's gonna be a lot less cringe than that Red Bull F1 hour-long broadcast. So hey, we got that go for us. And don't worry, we took off our earrings, and you're not going to be hearing that clicking throughout the entire time.
Oh, gotta love that. But right now, we're in qualifying for this lovely race, and we've only got 15 people who have set a lap time at the moment. We nearly had a scare before we got into the lobby, as it said 6 people were going to take part in this race, but luckily that was just a glitch on iRacing's part, and we have 16 people who should be able to start the races. Zamborski, unsurprisingly, is on top of the timing sheets, as he usually is. Although last week, Zamborski did struggle a little bit during qualifying, but ended up winning at his home track of Watkins Glen and came through the field fairly well and fairly clean as well, as other drivers around him sort of just fell off and made mistakes. And yeah, just one of Zamborski's better performances, I'd say.
Yeah, it is his home track in his home state of New York, but now we're going to go to the opposite side of the world, over to Fuji, which it will have a little bit of Watkins Glen with it as well, with that massively long front straightaway, almost a mile. Yes, I'm going to use the American term, long, and it's just going to be so much fun, especially if you get cars within draft of each other using DRS tactically. If they can stay together for an entire lap, oh man, that front straightaway is going to be home to some very awesome battles. I can tell you what, especially on this first lap, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch here, especially Dunlop corner. another big part of the track. One of the tightest hairpins in that little hairpin section. Tire wear is going to be so key right there. In that slow corner, if you get a car going side by side right there, it's going to be a snail fest through there. It's very tight, very awkward to operate in. So how these drivers attack Dunlop corner if they're battling with somebody is going to be very key. That entire final sector, kind of tricky, but with these high downforce cars, it's going to be a lot easier than, than trying to rumble a TCR around here.
I don't know. I mean, I disagree with you on that, actually. I'd say having a TCR actually around here would be quite fun, to be honest. I mean, especially
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was just tedious.
Yeah. I can kind of see that because you're sort of just there like waiting for the power to get down, whereas these things sort
Ladies
of
and gentlemen, these are
fly
supposed to be engine noises that Aaron is trying to make with his mouth, not other things.
I don't know what else you would have seen that as. I mean, how is seen as anything else as an engine noise?
Grow up,
Tell
you'll
me.
find out.
I'm not going to comment on that. We're just going to leave it there. We're going to move on.
And speaking of moving on, qualifying is moving on to the race right now.
Yes, it is, Austin. Qualifying, your 8-minute session is over, and unsurprisingly, Eddie Zamborski on pole for this glorious race is about to get underway. Dennis Furkheim lines up alongside him, Sergio Macias in 3rd position, George Lopez in 4th, Eric Wysomowski in 5th, Marcus Alacron in 6th, Valerio Tavares in 7th, Oliver Cuoca in 8th, and Brad Philpott making his return from last week in 9th, Steve Casimatis in 10th place, Shane Lambert down in 11th, and lining up behind him is Lawrence from Australia, and behind them only a few more drivers. Very short grid today. Cal Young, Masafumi Aburemi in 14th, and Dennis Cornu and Akin finish off your grid. He did not set a time, the number 13. Gonna have to wish for a bit of luck, as many people know running the number 13 is, well, I mean, Maldonado. Do I need to say more?
No, you don't.
Yeah,
But
I think everyone
hopefully we do not get Maldonado, Danny Gafia, Roman Grosjean start here.
Well, I mean,
Who else was notoriously bad at starting? Me. But I'm up here in the booth, so you don't have to worry about that.
yeah, no, I think if you were down there on the grid, I'd be pretty scared, to be honest. Especially if you were next to me, which has only happened a few times, and we didn't actually ever crash, I don't think.
Yeah, we were actually very clean with each other.
Mainly because
Initially.
everyone else around us, however.
Everyone else around us did crash out.
Anyway, take it away, Austin, for the start of this race.
Live from Fuji on the front straightaway, it's 5 red lights as the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship goes green, green, green. And Eddie Zamborski gets an amazing start, as well as Sergio Macias. Macias already looking down to the inside, heading into turn 1. It's a big dive. Zamborski leaves the room, but goes all the way out to the outside to defend first place using that speed that he's gained. Macias jumping up into second. Furkheim and Wysomowski battling each other. Is Eric onto the inside as we tackle Coca-Cola corner, that fast left-hander. And everybody, one car going a little bit slower. That Steve Casimatis going very slow at the exit of that corner. I think he might have kicked out a little bit of a slowdown as everyone's just fighting for position, jumping for position right now. But it's Zamborski, Macias, Furkheim, Wysomowski, Cuoca, Alacron, and Lopez in a good fight. And Cuoca underneath a lot of pressure as that is Lopez. Lopez looking around to the outside. Big dive out to the outside of the corner. But this is that Dunlop corner, that very tricky hairpin right now. And you can see on how everybody is kind of attacking this corner, especially on these cold tires, with a lot of... what would be the word? The lot of patience around there, making sure that they don't spin up these tires because they got to last that entire race.
Yeah, I think if you're going to talk about patience, this last sector is definitely on the hot topic at this track, especially in these cars. We know how unpredictable this car can be sometimes on throttle, as we've seen all throughout this season. And that last sector is notorious. Whatever car you drive, LMP2, LMP1, LMDH, F3, whatever you drive, it's such a challenge, but a fun challenge, I'd say, as Jay Lawrence now trying to move himself up a position, overtaking Lambert into turn 1. Is he going to get it done before the corner? Not quite. Lawrence was a little bit worse on the brakes, but Lambert, I think he just kind of snagged himself on the outside, and I'm not sure going into, yeah, just a little bit of a lockup. And I think he probably would have stayed ahead without it, but nevertheless, it's only one position. That's Philpott, I believe, who's gone off the track.
Yeah, Brad Philpott going for a little bit of a slip and slide out of the Coca-Cola corner. I believe he might have caught a little bit of that inside curb, maybe hopping off the track. This is what happened to Brad right here. Heading into Coca-Cola corner. Very easy to go wide here, and you see the car just got upset over that curb. And he tried to put power down, but the car just had no contact or direct contact with the ground. This is a move for 4th place. Eric versus Quokka. Quokka on the inside. Eric onto the outside. Quokka holding down that inside line. Big slide right there. And Eric's got to watch out because here comes Alcron. Alcron setting himself up for a big switchback move onto that long front straightaway, trying to get the power down as best as possible and get the better speed. And yet, Marcos Alcron is locked and loaded. DRS activated for Eric Weissemaisky right ahead of him. And he is right on that gearbox, and you can hear that rev limiter popping off right now. Here comes Alcron. Alcron diving up onto the inside. He's going for one, and there is Ollie Quokka. Quokka ahead of him also has DRS activated. They're going to go 3 wide heading into turn 1. Alcron trying to dive up onto the inside, but there goes Eric Weissemaisky around to the outside to attack Alcron right now. Eric's now set up onto the inside heading into Coca-Cola corner, but he has to drop back to allow that, or else that would have been a big issue and allowed Quokka to move farther ahead from him and lose time to Ollie Quokka, who's now sitting in for 4th place. A brilliant battle here right now.
Yeah, this is kind of battle that me and Chaz were talking about last week, where it's sort of a mind game between everyone, sort of, or where you going to go? Can I put pressure on you to make a mistake? Because I think, I don't know, even though these guys are going to have a long slipstream down that main straight, I think that Quokka, with the track position, actually has the advantage right now. And especially since he's got quite a healthy gap in front of him, he has the ability to sort of just do whatever he wants, picks whatever he wants to go, and sort of dictates what happens behind him. But at the same time, yeah, if everyone behind him is activating DRS and is in I mean, we've got a train all the way from 5th all the way down to 15th, which I don't remember the last time we've said that. Look at everyone coming around that final corner. Nothing separating these cars.
That is Lopez heading into the pit lane.
I'm not sure. The only thing I can suspect is he accidentally loaded qualifying fuel. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't see any damage on that car, or
that
maybe
car
a
looks
penalty.
pristine. Maybe it would just be suspension damage from a big side hit. But Lopez is in the pits, and yeah, there is nothing that I can see wrong with that car. So maybe it was qualifying fuel that he did load up, which we've all been there. We've all done it at least one time. And we're going to find out what has happened to Lopez. He did not go up onto the jacks. It was qualifying fuel. 6 seconds in the pit box. So that is unfortunate, but all the cars are still out there onto the track. But I would say the worst luck would be Lopez. You always got to check what setup you're running.
Yeah, when you make that mistake once, it kind of haunts you for the rest of the time that you play iRacing. You make it once and you make sure you select the right setup every single time. I remember the first time I did that in a Formula 3 race, and I lined up on pole and just painfully had to pull into the pits. And yeah, it really is a horrible feeling, but you just got to get on with it. There's not really much you can do. And yeah, just, learn for next time. And yeah, as Austin said, we've all been there, we've all done that. And yeah,
I would say
Lopez.
Okay. I thought that more cars were about to head into there. And I'm like, I hope that's not what happened. No, we're getting a snake down the straightaway. Quokka going down to the inside, and look who's following him, Alacron. And here, Eric onto the outside, into the draft of Quokka. He's going to be stuck onto the outside, and Alacron's going to be defending from Eric right now. And, big slide to the background. Tavares, big save, but is going to be overheating the tires, and he's going to fall down that train near to the caboose end of it. And a big slide, but a good save right there from Valerio. And he's going to be looking ahead into this race and trying to improve it. And, oh, that is Eric going slow onto the outside. And I think that is a hardware failure.
Yeah. Yeah, you can immediately tell by the way his steering angle just immediately snaps to one side. Let's have a look at what actually happened coming through the... Yeah, that's definitely...
Something has happened because his steering input just went there, and then he unplugged it right here.
Yeah. I'd say that's definitely hardware. I mean, it happened to
I
me
had that
earlier,
issue.
So.
Yeah, you had a hardware issue. He's now fixed. Just a little bit of settings, 8, default 10, -5, reset 8, or whatever they do on the Formula 1 cars. We need to ask our Formula 1 engineer friends that like to mess around with the wheels and just like what that does. It resets the computer and all that things. And that is not the line.
No,
it was back in the day. It was back in the day. There's a move for second. Furkheim on down to the inside on Sergio, and Dennis Furkheim of Flying GP Esports jumps up into second place.
Yeah, fairly clean overtake as we also have a battle brewing up still for 4th place between Alecron and Quoker. Now that Wyzemowski has moved aside, no fault of his own, of course, as his wheel decided to depart the game. And,
or just change settings. I accidentally hit my setting change button, and my steering went from how I usually like it in a Formula car to GT car, which did not end well because I was racing at Montreal.
So did you steer suddenly and quickly into a wall?
No, I did not steer and went into a wall.
What did you do?
I was steering regularly, and then it went to GT car, and then it just said, okay, you're going straight now.
What? Were you mid-corner?
Yes.
What corner?
Turn 4.
Oh. I see the problem. Yeah, hardware failures are probably the most painful, I'd say, on iRacing. It happened to me earlier, and I was fairly annoyed. I ended the stream abruptly and decided to go off and have some food because, you know, just food is the problem.
Munchies make the bad race go away.
Exactly. It always helps just to, you know, if you're sad, have a munch. That's what I say. And maybe eat healthy food as well, because then you might not, you know.
No, I always munch on a good salad.
Yeah, you always.
That just also happens to be around a hamburger at the time.
Yeah, follow Austin's advice. Get a big hamburger and shove it in your face, and all of your problems will be solved.
Just put everything on a hamburger, including the salad on there, and boom, you're done. That's what lettuce is for. Anyway, yeah, before we start talking about food, 7 laps into this broadcast, we made it 10 minutes.
That's the furthest we've made it. That's a new record.
Well, I did say eggshell at the very start, so unfortunately, no, that is also a lie.
Yeah, you want to tell everyone else what Samuli said before we started broadcasting? Like
I do not want to be. We still got a few weeks left. I do not want to be fired. Anyway, we were on the topics of most unfortunate things that happen at iRacing: underfueling, underfueling the car, hardware failure, qualifying setup, so the wrong setup. As this is a great fight, Quokka in the draft, getting ahead as this is Sergio looking down to the inside. Big dive by Sergio. He's challenging that move. Side by side they go. Sergio, he could get that move up. Alecron could get that move back. Marcos Alecron. But he's set up around to the outside of Coca-Cola corner, and he's unable to get that ollie. Quokka able to stay ahead of Marcos Alecron right there. Beautiful fight by Alecron, though. And I'm very excited to see how this lap goes. So, wrong setup, underfueling the car, quality setup loaded in the race, jumping the start because you raced because you're racing rolling starts for the entire day. They're like, I'm gonna hop into a standing start race, and you forget that it's standing start. I will raise my hand and say I've done that so many times.
Yeah, I think it's just It's just those little things that can ruin your entire race. It's such a gut-wrenching feeling, but I mean, these guys not having any issues so far. Oliver Quoker, who I don't actually think we've seen all season so far, he's doing a fantastic job up in 4th place. The German from Germany, not sure what city, but from a city in Germany probably, as Alacron behind him, putting on a decent amount of pressure over the past few laps, but yeah, Oliver being very aggressive on the zigzagging.
Oh, sneaking up onto the inside. Here comes Alacron. And Quokka went all the way to the outside to get that better line and better speed through that corner. And they're still side by side. Quokka defending that one very masterfully, pinning him to that inside line and using that outside line to his advantage and able to stay ahead. But here comes Alacron. Alacron got a lot of speed through Coca-Cola cores there. Side, well, nose to tail with each other. I almost said side by side. But I just had a little bit of a stutter for myself. But Quokka versus Alacron is going to go on for another lap.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those battles that you kind of just bruise throughout the entire race. I don't think one is necessarily quicker than the other. I think Quokka's doing a really good job at defending right now, as he's sort of been doing that for the whole race.
And Ollie Quokka is from NRW. I do not know what abbreviation that stands for, but it says it's in Germany.
I'm going to find out. Give me a sec. NRW Germany. Hold on. Hold on.
That's what he says on his iRacing profile.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Quokka starting the snake very early.
It says that it's in the northern Rhine, so somewhere in North
Samuli has said that's a German state.
Oh, well, there you go.
Here goes closing speed. Quokka unable to go back to the outside as Alacron's right there. Ooh. Almost wheel banging in the braking zone as Alacron giving Quokka a taste of his own medicine right there. But Quokka able to stay ahead of Alacron. Alacron probably a little bit frustrated, and both of them getting pinned down to the inside as Quokka now showing the elbows. But Alacron sending it through there through Coca-Cola corner for 4th place. But look who's joined the party. It's Lambert.
A little bit of a slip up there from Austin, but yeah, Lambert coming through the field fairly nicely, up 5 places right now. And yeah, everyone apart from the top 3 have changed positions at some point or another. And yeah, this is sort of the closest fighting we've had all season. Everyone from 5th all the way down to 12th sort of have the opportunity to get past one another, and that's very close, and that's Quokka around.
No. And this is going to cause a parking lot issue right now. Quokka goes around, gets that bad rejoin. And Casamatis, and oh no, he's getting stuck in the S's, and I think he just picked up damage too, because he made contact with that barrier right there. That chaos happened around Oliver Quokka as Ollie was trying to chase down Alacron, and I believe he got tapped from behind. He took a lot of mustard into there, overcooked it onto the entry. And Lambert gave it around, and then next thing you know, it looked on it just full-on accordion effect, and this is probably the worst feeling.
Ooh.
Trying to, this car is way too big. It's like trying to drive a modern F1 car just around Monaco on its own.
Yeah, that's. I do think he sort of couldn't really see as well where his.
Tavares picked up damage as well. You can see the front wing really bent right there. Everybody else, I think, had a little bit of a tap here or there. I want to see what Cal Young's car looked like because he took a big hit as well. One of the cars got up onto 2 wheels, but looking at that car, it looks all right. But that entire train, it's kind of dispersed it, but also tightened some of it up as well. So if we can look throughout this entire train, some of these drivers might have a little bit of damage, some might not. I would say the biggest mover right now would be the home country driver, Masafumi Aburame, jumping up to 6th place, up 8 spots here today. And this is definitely a home track advantage right here. And always great to see Aburame out there on track. Long-time Formula 3.5 driver, and it's great to see him back.
Yeah, I think the last time we had some Japanese drivers at the home track, it didn't go very well. I think it was Suzuka either this season or last season where we had, I think, our usual drivers of Shirakawa and Shindoi who really didn't have a very good race. But it's good to see a homebred hero fighting up there for possibly even a top 5 spot. He's got a little bit of the race to go, but someone who kind of is suffering outside of the top 5 right now. Lawrence, who's just trying to avoid that car that just came
Oh,
out the pits.
Philpott. Philpott has damage. Look at the front right of his car.
Oh dear. That's a bendy front wing if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, this is not the 2007s where the flexi wing was a big innovation in Formula One. Even though these cars were racing around that time, I believe.
Yes, it was 2007 and 2008, I believe, around here. I think, if my Formula One knowledge is correct.
I was talking about 3.5.
Oh, 3.5. Oh, I'm stupid. Never mind. But yeah, Formula One did race down here in 07 and 08, and I actually think it really did suit those cars, and I kind of miss it.
The flexi wing over the front nose?
No, Fuji.
Ah.
Fuji was a good track for Formula One in my opinion, and this is controversial, better than Suzuka. So controversial opinion, I know, but
I'm okay with that opinion. It's a very unique track. It offers a lot of different characteristics compared to Suzuka. One, it's got a massive front straightaway, and I would say more overtaking opportunities than Suzuka, because Suzuka, test track.
Yes, I would say Suzuka, more fun to hot lap. This,
yes,
much better racetrack.
At 100%, especially maybe not in open wheelers, but if you go into GT cars, maybe some of the slower cars, like touring cars, where touring cars are always fantastic anywhere. Don't at me. I enjoy racing Fuji a lot more, though I may just be American and love drafting people.
Yes, that's exactly the reason why. There's no other reason why. Just you love bump drafting people. And also, if you like touring cars, you're in the wrong country. Just saying.
Yes, touring cars are not that popular here in America. I will say that 100%.
They're a little... I mean... Over here, on the other hand.
Oh yeah, y'all go crazy over touring cars over there.
Yeah, the British Touring Car Championship is
probably the most renowned touring car championships in the world.
Yeah.
Heck, I think it takes first place, and World Touring Car Championship takes a second place there, because British Touring Car Championship is just massive.
Mm. Yeah, and you've got some drivers who, I mean, you even had the likes of Nigel Mansell doing it. That's how you know that it's pretty good. That's how you know it's yeah. You should probably give it a go.
Yeah.
That's how you come over here, come down to Brands Hatch and have a pint, watch a race.
I don't
think that's Then have a Coke.
All right.
We have Coke. Bet. All right,
cool.
Anyone else who wants to come, who's watching the stream, feel free. Because
party at
cars
Aaron's.
are amazing. Exactly. I have the space. We all watch British touring cars and we all have fun. I'm okay with that.
You know, I should pitch the Apex Sim Center. I don't know if I should say this on air, to host watch parties for certain racing events over there as well.
That would actually be a good business opportunity. Not bad.
Hey,
maybe you should.
Listen to me. I give smart advice.
Do you?
Maybe.
Now there you're overstepping the line. I don't know. I wouldn't say you give smart advice.
Apex Racing America coming soon.
Oh, now I know the reason. You're going solo. You're leaving the band.
No.
Okay, I see how it is.
No.
Oh, we're gonna miss you, Austin.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss y'all too. I'm not leaving the production side of things. It's just changing sports.
You gonna be a football commentator? You gonna be commentating over Man United?
The football media.
Ooh.
Not commentator. I don't know jack about the sport.
You know enough. You don't need to know that much. Just,
I don't.
you know.
Yeah, this is true.
If you play FIFA, you know enough.
This is true. You don't know how much I've learned all about that sport from FIFA.
Exactly. It's really not that difficult. I could commentate over football.
I didn't even play FIFA. I just watched FIFA YouTubers. And then I started playing it by myself. I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense now. Also, how are these guys so good?
I don't know. I mean, ask me, because I'm goated.
All right, Aaron with the self-plug. If you want to know FIFA or something, learn from Aaron. Even though he shouldn't be calling it FIFA, he should be calling it ESPN FC since they've lost their license.
Ugh.
Even though FIFA is making their own game, apparently. As Eddie
Oh,
Samborski is probably having this thought up in his head right now as he goes down that front straightaway. 4 seconds clear of the fight for second place between Sergio Macias and Dennis Furkheim. But I think Sergio is just chilling behind Dennis right now. He didn't really go for a move there.
No, I don't really think he needs to be honest. I mean, we've still got like 10, 11 laps to go in this race. So, and as I've said before, not really any of these drivers sort of who are fighting for position, they don't seem quicker than one another. So, yeah, I think if Macias does try and go for an overtake, it's kind of just going to be, yay, I overtook you. Now I'm gonna have to defend from the driver behind for the rest of my life, and it just kind of leaves you a bit vulnerable. So, unless the driver in front of you locks up like that.
Yeah, big moment right there. And Furkheim jumps up into second place. Sergio now behind him. Now, will Sergio be a little bit more aggressive? Some of these drivers like to lead. Some of the drivers like to follow, especially in high draft scenarios. I'm more of a follower. It's mainly because I can play mind games with the car in front of me, and I hate it. I hate the mind games being played on me whenever I'm leading, because it always kind of seems on a massive draft track when you're looking in your mirror, that car's diving you. And this is certainly a move being made right now. Macias getting into that slipstream down to the inside and up into second place. But they're still going to be side by side in the braking zone. But Dennis gets onto the brakes, lets off a little bit early, and allows Sergio to jump up into second place.
Yeah, fairly textbook overtake. I think Furkheim is starting to struggle a tiny bit. I was saying a lap ago how I thought these guys were basically the same pace. I take that back. I think Furkheim is a little bit slower than Macias now. As yeah, he really is struggling. He lost about 3/10 in the last 10 seconds alone. And yeah, he really is starting to fall off. Look, the gap's already up to 8/10. Maybe I was wrong, as I so often are.
Yeah, I think that little bit of a lockup might have gotten into Dennis's head.
Yeah, I think it kind of just
Unsettled.
I don't know if it was just, yeah, I don't know if it just put him under too much pressure, and yeah, that gap is slowly just getting bigger and bigger, and I think Dennis just kind of needs to take a lap or two to just calm down and bring on the chase again, because we know he's quick, we know that, and I think he can give chase to Macias perfectly fine, but you know, only time will tell, and who knows, maybe Furkheim's
If I was Sergio right now, and if I was wanting to get rid of that gap, I would have activated DRS. But Dennis Furkheim has actually activated DRS and to chase down Sergio. As we see, the comparison of lap times, a banger of a lap time for Sergio, and that was actually faster than Eddie Samborski. So Sergio, he's found his groove right now, and Furkheim using DRS to catch up to Sergio. He's closed that gap down to half a second. Sergio did not use DRS that lap at all. So he stays one use higher than Dennis behind him. Good, speaking of behind, good fight between Cal Young and Dennis Cornu. Young on the outside, Cornu onto the inside, heading into turn one. And it is Dennis able to...
Lawrence.
It is... I'm getting people confused so hard today.
Yeah, you've not been here for a while, have you?
No.
it's okay. We all make those mistakes. But yeah, Lawrence sort of just hanging on the back of Cornu at the moment. Cal Young, on the other hand, is trying to give chase to Lambert in front of him. He's got his own problems to worry about as Croker as well. Also, oh, hello. That's not the ideal line through Dunlop, but you know, whatever takes your fancy, I guess. But Lawrence really starting to close that gap on Cornu now, and I think he's going to have a fantastic opportunity if he doesn't... I was going to say bugger. Am I allowed to say bugger on stream? I'll do it anyway. If he doesn't bugger this last sector up, which he kind of has, and he's fallen back to about 8/10 now. and try to get a good exit around that final corner, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to go for a good overtake. However, we might see an overtake from Quoker on Brad Philpott as he's trying to make his way back up the field again. You can see them just in the background. Is Quoker going to try and go for the overtake? He's definitely close enough. He's tucked nicely into that slipstream. He's about to pull alongside now and is not using DRS. I don't believe so as they head into turn one. He's already ahead and gets that overtake done. Although Brad did have wing damage, so that draggy boy of a car is definitely not helping his case whatsoever.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of anchors out on the front straightaway, but he's still setting it into these corners. But Philpott versus Ollie was not really going to be much of a challenge, and Ollie's going to be looking forward to a uphill fight and try to recover as much as he can. He's already down 3 spots from where he started. Biggest mover of the race is still Masafumi Abarame. Last time we said this, he was up 6 spots. Now he is up 9 spots, sitting in 5th place. Top 5 for the home country driver.
Yeah, doing really well, actually. We kind of saw him right down at the bottom at the start of this race, and I didn't really think he would be able to do much, since it's really difficult to come through the field here just because of how close the field is. And yeah, there is a lot of overtaking opportunities, but when you're all tucked in to this slipstream down this main straight, it is really difficult to move past everyone. But he's done a really good job up into 5th place. He is, of course, the 5th highest iRacing driver, hence why he's running the number 5. And I think he's sort of tucked into 5th place nicely. I don't think he'll be able to catch Alacron by the end of the race, but who knows? Still got about 7 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, Masafumi Abarame. This is not his home track. His home track, I believe, is Okayama, which would be the track closest to him. But this is in the nearer region than Suzuka, though. With the amount of Japanese tracks on iRacing, you do have a little bit to pick and choose from, but it does represent most of the iRacing from Scuba all the way down to Okayama. You got Fuji, Suzuka, as well as Twin Ring Motegi. I believe I'm missing one right now. I do know there's a lot more Japanese tracks that I would like to have on iRacing. Which, if you like new tracks coming to iRacing, go into the iRacing forums and you'll see a heckin' big post by iRacing president doing a few teases, a few looks behind the scenes, and I'm excited to see what's for the future for iRacing with tire model, things coming to the service, new track rescans, Stanford, and new tracks coming to the service as well.
Yeah, there was a massive, he kind of, I don't know if he just got bored one day and was like, you know, here you go, have some stuff. I think the one that caught my eye the most was a Jerez, actually, that they teased. And that's a track that you don't really hear about much anymore.
I was very excited. Algarve. I'm American, okay? I see it, I say it.
Yes.
Until somebody says, yeah, Portimao. I
think that would be a really fun track.
It is a very fun track, according to a lot of the drivers in Formula 1, as well as if you go onto another sim that track is on. It's very fun. Yes, you were right. Not the other one, because that's not a sim.
I think the first time I ever actually heard of the track was on Race Room, and I remember driving it in touring cars, and it was so much fun. And yeah, as you said, the other thing that it's on, that version of Portimao is terrible.
Yes, do not try it there.
Yeah,
I'm excited to drive a actual laser scan version in licensed products that you can only find on iRacing.
Agreed. I think actually if they do that, if they do add Portimao, it's gonna probably have the same kind of feeling to this, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Mainly because of that final sector.
I'm excited for that final sector, especially in lower cars. Maybe the Skip Barber in that final sector, just battling with the car and trying not to make it slide out.
I think the most difficult corner, though, is, I think it's the first sector that uphill left.
Oh
that's
yes,
gonna be
going to be
difficult.
low downforce chaos, and I'm going to be excited whenever lower series goes there. iRacing Formula 4 is going to be very entertaining next season.
Oh god, that's
or
one of the most
whenever
terrifying
it gets onto the
thoughts.
tracks.
I think Formula 3 would be quite fun around there, isn't it?
Formula 3 would be fun around there. Formula 4 would be very challenging around there, which is why I'm always excited for it, because I love racing the Formula 4, because that car is just so unstable, but a lot of fun to drive it on the limit, especially with the Formula 3 as well. But I'm not a wizard like you, and I can't get that thing onto the limit. Well, I find it over the limit, but I can't race on the limit.
I have the track record at Zolder. What? I didn't say anything. What? I didn't hear anything, so no, I didn't hear anything. But I'd actually think these cars around Portimao would be quite fun and chaotic, like it is today.
Yeah, these cars are equivalent of Formula 2s, as Cal Young up onto the inside, but a late break by Shane Lambert trying to hold it around the outside. Well, that is way onto the outside, and he's going to have to watch out because here comes Dennis Cornu onto the inside, which is soon going to be onto the outside as we head into Coca-Cola corner, and around the outside, Dennis Cornu jumps up into 7th place. And also, fun fact, Coca-Cola corner is the most used corner name in all of racing.
Is it?
They sponsor the most corners, to my knowledge.
I thought it was just this track, actually. Huh.
No, there is a lot of Coca-Cola corners out there.
I would have thought Dunlop would be more, because what you have Dunlop here and at Le Mans, so. Or am I being stupid?
No, you're not being stupid. Coca-Cola, I believe, also. Le Mans also has a lot of corner names. I know it's retaken the bus stop name.
Because
at Daytona, because of the LMDH partnership that WEC and IMSA have right now. So I'm excited for that. Also, if you haven't driven the BMW LMDH, I can give it 2 thumbs up. It is a fun car.
I had to do a Daytona in it, and it was really fun. It actually was a really good car to drive, although it didn't perform that great in real life. So
BOP, I would just say, but anyway, when you have a car with a giant grille on the front where everyone else doesn't, Acura superior, it kind of makes sense. Then again, I'm heavily biased towards Acura.
I've just
and
seen
Cadillac.
I've just seen what some really put in.
But the most common turn name in the world is Turn 1. And I can just point to America. Thank you, Simone, because this is 100% true. Turn 1 is the most used name in America. Followed by 2, 3, and 4.
You're forgetting 2A and 2B. Cough, cough, Road America.
Track maps in America, I hate. The worst one, I think, is like 14A and 14B, where it turns a direction. Like, it goes right and then left, but they're both named Turn 14.
Yeah, no, they really need to. Americans just. I'm sorry for any Americans who are watching this, but you guys just do some strange things sometimes. Like, I love your country, but like at the same time, yeah.
It's okay.
Is it?
It's okay. We do weird things. Y'all do weirder things. Like spell aluminum wrong.
I don't know what aluminum is. I think you mean aluminium.
You did.
But...
There it is. I was expecting you to say the other one first.
I honestly don't know what aluminum is. You guys just make stuff up. I don't know. Like,
it's the same material.
No. Aluminum doesn't exist. Aluminum's not a real thing. It's aluminium. That's how it's.
You're thinking of unobtainium. That's not real.
Okay. Say Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Is it spelt Jaguar? No. It's spelt Jag-U-R. End of story.
It's more fun to say it the other way, though.
It's not.
We got a good fight going on, but it's Eddie Samborski taking the white flag here at Fuji International Speedway. And speaking of Fuji International Speedway, this track, when it originally opened, was made for NASCAR, and there was a giant turn one banked corner that went downhill at a banking of about 30 degrees right. And the original Fuji layout, there is a mod for it on a Saddle course if y'all want to try it. There's also a few videos and photos of it back there. If you look at Fuji from back in the day, that track was maddening to think that this was designed for NASCAR.
I did not know that. NASCAR influences a lot of things more than you'd actually think. And Brad Philpott, who actually, I'd say, is doing a fairly decent job holding on to 13th place right now.
He's challenging back. He was just overtaken, but he sends it up onto the inside to turn one, but he overcooks the entry. And Lopez, with that switchback on this recovery fuel run after starting on the wrong setup, is up into 12th place. But he would be very happy about that switchback, and somebody who's going to be very happy about today is Eddie Samborski, 4.3 seconds in the lead. He's led every lap, but he does not currently have the fastest lap as he wins here at Fuji. And there is a 125.6. Is that going to be the Grand Slam? Yes, it is. As Sergio puts in a 125.9. Eddie was waiting for that entire lap right there. Sergio finishes second. Dennis Furkheim in third place, followed by Alacron, who is just now coming across the line. But we got a good fight for sixth place right now. A little bit of snaking action, but Cal Young is just ahead of Dennis Cornu, our biggest mover in the race. Masafume Abarame up into fifth place. The home country driver is up into fifth after jumping up 9 spots here today. Dennis Cornu jumped up 8th. He's going to be very happy about that. Lambert and Lawrence in 8th and 9th, followed by Casamatis Kwaka and Lopez Philpott. Yaya Ennis Antkin is down in 14th. He started from the back of the grid, jumped up 2 spots. But yeah, a very unique day for a few of these drivers. Fuji being the challenge that we all expected it would be.
I think it's been a more unique day for us, to be honest, since we didn't talk about the race for half the race. It was what, football, then someone else, food. I don't even know.
The correct pronunciation of Jaguar.
And whatever aluminum is, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what aluminum is. I don't know, man. You lot just words can't describe. That's all I'm gonna say.
Words are words, but I can tell you what's gonna happen next week. Though we're gonna be heading over to Magny-Cours, the new track here on iRacing, and it's gonna be the first time that these Formula 3.5 cars head over there. I'm expecting a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Chaos is definitely gonna happen. I'm expecting a lot of chaos because at Algrave Corner, that hairpin is going to be, it's so tight, and you can barely fit 2 Formula 3 cars into there. Think of Formula 3.5 cars heading into there. And what we just saw at Dunlop, I think, is a perfect little glimpse into the future that we might be seeing next week.
I think I'm more scared for that final chicane, to be honest. I mean, we've seen how bouncy this car is, mainly because it's still got the old iRacing sort of physics on it and tire model. And I think that final chicane, because in Formula 3 cars, you can just jump over that and you'll be fine. In these cars,
you'll be turned into a SpaceX rocket on an expedition to Mars.
Yes, you will turn into Mark Webber. Twice, actually. One in a Red Bull, one in a Mercedes. Whichever one's worse.
Very experienced pilot, though.
Yes, he's tried so many times, but just can never get it right. But someone who can get it right,
Eddie Samborski.
Yeah, and he's
Who takes the win here today ahead is Sergio Macias and Dennis Furkheim. Marcos Alacron and Masumimi Albarame finishes out your top 5. Paul Cal Young, Dennis Cordy, Shane Lambert, Jay Lord, Steve Casamatis, Oliver Cuaco, Ori Lopez, Brad, Phil Pott, and Yaya Ennis Anakin. They're followed by Valerio Tavares and Eric Weizemaiski. The end of our 16-card grid as we are looking forward to Magnet Core and the chaos that track is going to bring. New track for us here on iRacing and the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here from Apex Racing TV. Thank you everybody for joining us here today. I've been joined by Aaron Smith with Samuli Kumo in the production booth. You're here live. Oh my gosh, you just did that. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night. I'm going to go choke Aaron out now.